Hi everyone. So this is kind of an interlude before part 5, which you're going to see scheduled, and I'm going to answer the comments that are on part 4, and I thought it'd be best to do it this way because I think some of the questions or comments some of you might be interested in, you might miss it if it doesn't show a reply to you, and also then it helps you know what's upcoming. So I've recorded part 5, which you're going to see scheduled. I actually did part 6 as well. That's just completed, but I need to sort of, you know how you put it together and then just upload and get that processing part done. So that will be scheduled. Now, there's some things that I thought you might be able to help with because I've got comments. I know that there was, one of you said there's a farm where a farm and a hotel where one of Nicola's friends worked for her mum and dad. So does her mum and dad own that farm and hotel? Is that farm different to Marsh Farm, or is that the same one? And if they are the same one, I believe that actually that farm is not like abandoned. It's it has marriages and events at it, so it's quite busy. Or like how is it? And I presume if it's a farm, it means that there's sort of obviously a farm outside, but then it's more like a hall where there's you can have a marriage. And if it's not the same, then that would be great to know. I'm going to probably try and post on the community page. And the reason I don't use it much is because people don't actually see it. Otherwise I would have posted this on the community page, just like answering everything in one go. An abandoned house or building. And I want to see I'm going to check about the farm, the Marsh Farm, and how it looks like, because I've got a picture in my head of something. And that abandoned building, where does it sit? Where is it exactly? Because, yeah, it'll be good to know. Is that abandoned building part of the Marsh Farm or not? And where does it sit? Like I'll put a map. Because every time I find the maps or satellite views, there's something, but there's something else missing, and I just want to see where it sits on that map. And I don't know if any of you have realised, but have you noticed how close the bench is to actually the kissing gate? I thought it was a lot further from everything that I'd seen. Obviously, I've not seen probably 25% of what you've all seen because I've tried to keep a clear slate. There's so much being said out there, and I think some of it is a bit toxic and I don't like it. And I'm not here to, so far I can tell you that I cannot pinpoint confidently who I think who's done it or who is the direct hand in some of this, but I can tell you who knows and who might be at the back of some of it. And you'll see that in my reading. So if you're going to come across, if there's going to be comments like, I got a comment saying, so you think the partner did this, and did the tennis ball with the dog and the lead and choked her with the lead, then threw it in the river and then got the phone and then put the phone on the bench, then took it somewhere else, then brought, and I'm not saying that I have no idea how they got to that, but I can tell you they've not seen all the parts. So, and that's where I'm at with that. And that's why I always say check the parts, because I take you on a journey. It's like with Maddie. I took you on a journey of telling you what I know first and then signs that I got, similar to this. But this one I didn't do any research. And I did a bit of research further in where I think it was part 3. So that would be helpful to know about that. And the abandoned building, like, what I'm not getting something that's really big. If anything, it's only a 2-story. But yeah, it'd be good to know where that is really, and if anyone that has been stated as a name known actually owns it. Part 6 coming up, I'm tapping into asking energies. Again, There's no accusations. Everything's for entertainment purposes only. The other thing that I got is a question. Can I ask, does her sister know anything about the day and what happened? So in part 6, I asked about the energy around the sister. It could be just like, check out part 6. It's not an accusation. It's more or less, how do you feel, etc. And there's reasons I asked that. And if the outcome's not clear in part 7, I'll ask it as a direct question of what you've asked as well. And also there's another question there, I think, which was the 2 people. In that part as well, I asked about 2 people that, you know, there was allegedly a strange man, and then there were 2 people that were covered up. Okay, and I think there was something that they could be fake, the fisherman. But then you remember I got that fish, and I was like, I think there was something about fake fishermen. I don't know if it was proven the fishermen were on duty or not. But I cover that in there, but I don't cover it in this direct question. So I will raise this question. So what I wanted to ask on this, and that's why I'm doing it as a video to make sure it's clear. Do you mean the two people that were said to be all covered up and you couldn't really see who they are? If it is, then let me know in the comments, because I need to be confident on how I ask the question, and then I know it's the energy that I was tapping into in part 6. And if you want to check out part 6 first and then see, and I'll raise that question as well. And then one thing I did want to say, I know that everyone's saying that the significant other was going skint. I haven't tapped into their finances. I think I'm starting to get a feel of like why it was actually written as an accident, why this, why that. I think it's complex because I think there was several things going on, okay? And obviously then there's several narratives going on out there as well. And so it's kind of finding the motive for something. And when people cannot find a motive for something, it goes all awry, you know. I think one thing that's happened is there was a prejudgment based on what has been said of what is happened, and that can sometimes happen when, you know, people are really busy. They're like, oh, I've seen a million cases of this, because they're stated to be taking this or doing that and doing that. I guess they've just thrown in the river. But I'm going to do a short on this, and I want you to really think about the short video that I do and let me know what your thoughts are on that short. So I don't, in terms of being skint, I know that that's a narrative out there. I'm not sure of that, because I mean, I'm going to check the energy around their finances, but there's nothing that gives me that. Even when I did the energy check-in, that's because the spotlight's just gone off, but it's a quick video, so I think you're fine, aren't you? I will ask about the finances anyway, but like, oh, there we go, the light's back on. Maybe that's the sign Nicola's here. Actually, what was I just asking about the finances? So I'm not getting anything about the finances. When I said that, the light came on like a confirmation. So let's see. But your comments are really helpful. And definitely about, you know, I said she'd found out something. And there's a comment here about what she could have found out on as well. There's certain energies that I still want to tap into, and there's certain cards that I want to dig into as well. So although I might not say what is happening or what my next plan is, there is still a bit more that I want to do. But I do want to say something, because I'm not here to look into this case and for it to be toxic. I'm not here to even point a finger to people or accuse people that I'm not really sure of. But I'm giving you the signs, okay? And you probably start to feel where it could be. I'm also going to say something else, and people can disagree with me. This case is not going to be reopened just like that, okay? One way it could be reopened, which if I was a chief leader, okay, in the Met Police, I'd be doing this, an internal audit on that case. But with that, that might need family's approval, because if the outcome and they find something, it might mean that they need to take the family's approval on that. And then obviously the family can sue. I got a message about the post-mortem being an accident. Yes, but then it was asked to be labelled as an accident. So, you know, the thing is with me, I've done this reading actually. I did it because I actually wanted it to come out as this is a destined sad accident that happened. And everyone else can do whatever they're reading on. Okay, so even some cards, like if I get a card that's like, let's say the devil in tarot, a lot of readers will be like, okay, so there was satanic magic going on, etc., etc. I will not state that because there's other meanings to it, and I channel. So even that's the other thing I wanted to mention. I channel. Like when I'm not feeling I've cleared the message, I'll try and continue because I'm not a tarot card reader. I use it as a tool to help and give imagery, but I channel and help me flow with that imagery. And I'm an intuitive channeler, and that my psychic abilities are there. Like I gave you the signs, you know, it's just about you need to quiet down and then take time out and then step away for a few days and then reconnect. And then put it all together without looking at the certain things. But there are certain things that, like the building, I really want an idea where it is there. Going back to the case, unless an internal audit is done and something's found, I'm going to do a short on something else. Check out the shorts that I'm going to do. I'm trying to bring together. But again, where I tap into the energy. So if I got the devil repeatedly when I'm asking about a certain energy, I'm going to say, okay, it means this to me. And like I said, when I channel, I feel a clear vessel once I've said something. I tried to have a nap the other day because I only had 4 hours sleep, and I had a dream, and it just like took me by surprise. And as I woke up, because it's always on my mind while I'm trying to do this case, I was like, Nicola, although it was supposed to be me. So I'm going to go through that as another sign as well. But I'll try and jump on the next live premiere. I'll jump on and off. And the reason is firstly, cringe to watch myself. Even if I put myself on mute, it's just to catch any messages or questions. Like the sister question, I can intuitively answer that right now. But I like to also, if I've been asked to ask spirit, I have to respect what spirit wants to tell me. Not that I'm withholding necessarily information, and that's why you'll find in the part 5, I then go on to answer it between me and my spirit guides, and you'll find like between a 50-minute run through of something versus a 9-minute, and things can change, especially if you're getting 2 energies, 2 message on something. Things can change. So it's not going to be the first and last time that I ask what happened to you on that day, what happened here, or I try to look into it. The other thing is, the other way it could be opened is someone comes forward with some evidence that doesn't get ignored, that gets looked into, okay? And something else. Now I picked 3 days. If you looked at my, I'm trying to rush through this, but I'm not going to actually. I was trying to keep it at 10 minutes. But I see that I'm at like 15, but I'm not just, if you saw that I was speeding up, I'm just going to take it slowly if you wanted to continue. I pulled actually 3 cards for her daughters, and then I pulled a crystal card. And I'm still sitting and brewing on those cards because I want to see what further comes out, but there might be a message there. And I don't know what it is about Sophie, but I said about the name Sophia. I said about the name Sophie before I even started the part 1, but then I told you about the signs in I mentioned the signs in part 3. Sophie was a little girl's energy that was getting through. Not that she's in spirit, no, but you can feel, I can feel energy just in general. Like I told you about a certain coin that I feel an office energy on, which I'm going to go into as well. I've said that from the start, although I think a lot of people are focusing on Mrs. Eyelashes and the partner. So I intuitively channel, use my abilities, but then when you're asking spirit, you need to respect what they want to let you know. And sometimes, like, it's funny, I'll get a feeling, I'll actually ask Nicola, are you going to tell me 100%, make it really, really clear for me? And I feel like there's a joking, like, no, but then, you know, that's what, I think I mentioned this in the last video, and that's how spirit works. And that's why when you channel spirit, when things first happen, it could be very different further down the line, and further down the line in a couple of months or a month, I might do a full channeling with her. But there's a healing process that comes up, and then they see things differently as well. I'm going to continue this. So yeah, if someone significantly comes forward, something's said, someone's cracked, someone's overheard, then they will open it, because there's a very high risk to just reopen it after what was you know, the whole thing, if you know what I mean. Like, you close it and it's been asked to be signed off as an accident. I want to go into that as well. I think I understand why it's been signed off as an accident. I mentioned in part 4, I think, and part 5 again, what I believe someone internally, but I also think there's bad advice there if they had a solicitor, but I can understand why. But I will dive into that. I want to dive into that as well, because let's see how we go further in the readings, because looking at the motive, and I don't mean like the motive being the insurance money and that's why. No, I'm going beyond that. A little bit. I think I've covered everything. I think I've covered everyone, and I appreciate everyone who supports. Please do like and share the video. I won't be getting into, you know, the other thing I want to mention, because I think it's fair to have justice. People are still saying that the partner is the one that did the welfare call on the 10th. That's one that I want to pull cards on as well, but it wasn't at the inquest. Her sister said that she had called the welfare call. This is something that I actually want to cover, because I don't understand why. Because if you take what the lady who went round to do the welfare call had said, or the ambulance lady after the initial arrival, I don't know if it's the police or the welfare check person, then there was an ambulance or someone else, mental health or something. It wasn't like, you know, the person who they called the welfare on was like running around riots, hitting everyone. No. And I think at that stage, she knew something. And yeah, I'll tap into it. She knew something. I'm not saying that I know what she knew, but she knew something. And I'm not sure if that welfare call was needed, but I don't really know if the whole story's come out. So yeah, there's several things. I'm sure I've missed some of the things that I wanted to say, but I want to get this out there. And it's 2112, divine number. Yeah, do like, share, comment, subscribe, and support the channel if you hope to. If you're looking for juicy gossip in terms of me always reading on the partner or trying to accuse people or this or that, I don't want to go into that. I mean, even like this nurse, Lucy Letby, right? I saw the title. You know how it comes, you probably know by now. I always tell you when I open my YouTube, there's thumbnails into Lucy Letby and the babies or something. And I was ignoring it because I was like, I don't want to I get triggered. And that's the other thing, when I get on the live premiere, I start connecting to spirit again, and then you get heightened and energized, and you need to maybe eat to calm yourself down. So that's why I will jump on, jump off, try and get your questions. But also, if I don't acknowledge it on the live premiere, it means that I've jumped off or I'm not there. I will always acknowledge everyone, and also just add it into the comments, because maybe part 7 or part 8, whatever it is, as we go along, I add it into the different parts, your questions. So I just wanted to let you know that if you've put a question in live premiere and I'm not there, or I've not acknowledged it, I'm not there. If I acknowledge it, then I'm there, and I'll either tell you I intuitively can answer you this straight away through my own abilities, or I'll say, okay, I'll ask it, okay? And that's because maybe I want to respect spirit before, if it's a deep question. So I just wanted to mention that as well. And I was talking about something Lucy let me, okay? And when I clicked on it, it was like 2015. I was like, what? And just now, that's just insane to me. And I was feeling like I'm going to get triggered with this. Like, I feel sick right now. But there's something majorly wrong with her. I'm not saying psychologically. There's darkness there. There's different things, ways of how darkness can get hold of you. There's darkness there beyond what I think would have been like some kind of sick thrill of something reason why. And there's probably a little bit of trauma. And so that would be a dark reading. I know everyone's probably jumping off on doing that. And I dare say there's going to be some mind probing readings. But I'm not here to do that. So anyone that says that I'm here to do for entertainment, that is not true at all. Because I would have jumped on the large cases that are happening, that are in the US. The Hawaii fires. I'm thinking to do a reading on that. Not because I suspect anything. I don't really know much about it, but I just felt it was like, I feel like Hawaii is a sacred place, and that scares me that that's happened there. And so nothing surprises me in terms of, well, there's reason. And so I might do it, but I'm late again to the game by the time I come through. And like Maddie, a lot of people have forgotten about Maddie's case. If I wanted publicity or just entertainment, I won't be doing that case. Like I said, it's what spirit brings to me, and that's it. And I am going to do a prod on the Jill Dando, but there's something in me that saddens me about it. Not that only that she lost her life, but there's something about it. And I think it'll be an intuitive read and not a channeling. And I might do an intuitive read on, like I said, Sinead, but then I have to just cut quiet from the cases that I am doing at the moment. But if there's anything you would like to see, please note it in the comment box, because I can either read on it or we can discuss it either way. And I've gone on a bit too long with this, so I hope you're all having a blessed day. I hope I covered everything, and thank you for everyone that's commented. If you do feel called to share anything, please do share, because it gets it out there. Like I said, I'm here to do a healing, and you'll see in part, I think, was it part 1 I started that way? In part 6 I open it in the same way, where, not the same way, but I ask Nicola, God bless her soul, to answer something for me. And it's just really what I intuitively channel myself. I knew that message was going to probably come up. There is a bit of an energy that comes in as well. So like where you ask a question and then a bit of past or future or a different energy comes in with a message that spirit wants to give you. That's how you need to distinguish between Spirit actually answering the question, that card or the download being part of the question, or Spirit actually wanting to bring in an element of something else in between that and continue with the answer. So yeah, I'm not here doing it for entertainment purposes. Yes, like not for, what I mean by that, I'm not doing it for toxicity, popularity, anything like that. On YouTube, it's for entertainment purpose only. I'm using tarot as a divine tool, and I just wonder if I'm getting pulled to pull a card. I want to pull a card from here. This is going to be general. I'll tell you if it comes. Let's see what we get. So everything's for entertainment purpose only, but I think you get my gist, right? I'm not doing it for toxicity. This is for Nicola's healing. This is to get the voice out to Nicola, and for healing all round to everyone who is involved in this. Just seen a beautiful card, but I don't know. Really beautiful card. I'm going to take this card because it really struck to me, and all these cards are beautiful, so it's not like, look, like there's some cards that are really nice colouring. I think these are the cards I used in part 1, but this is the card that really struck me. Number 20, the light body. And it says, independence brings comfort, past restrictions, and ancestral healing. I mean, doesn't that just say it? That's the purpose I do it. Okay, and I'm just going to dive into this a bit more because there is a message here that I want to add on to with this. But before I start channeling the message I get, I want to just see if I'm on the right track. Because I feel like it's, you know, related to, you know how I said Nicola was probably feeling a change in her vibration, not necessarily vibration, although I do feel she was feeling a change in her vibration. And I feel like where she used to go, she used to get downloads. And one of her soul purposes is learning that she should have or should listen to her intuition and instinct. And I wouldn't be surprised if she started to become more on an ascended journey. Because this for me is you're bringing into balance your mental, emotional, and physical and soul well-being. And then also the independence brings comfort, where she was questioning, should I make a certain move? Would I be selfish? Have I been overgiven? And I still think that there's, I don't know, in her childhood, was she the one that also took kind of responsibility? I think her sister's younger, isn't she? So this, I don't know if there's something around that, but I feel like it's about where you take action and where you're thinking of stuff is going to help you with low self-esteem, low confidence, and come into your alignment of your emotional, mental, physical health, physical and soul well-being. And obviously with this, there's ancestral healing, which means you're breaking the barriers of anything that could have been ancestral karma. But let me get into it. Okay. I'm not going to read it all, but I'm going to read some of it because I think it's a nice card for us all anyway. So the affirmation that goes with it is, I infuse my light body with power and presence. I embrace my divinity. I think it aligns with what I was, mentioning there. The Ascended Master, Lady Portia, asks you to act independently, and this will help your self-esteem through independent action. Reliance on codependent relationships will leave you unbalanced, insecure in your life. Learn to rely on yourself above all others. I think she did. I think she was very self-reliant and sort of in control of everything, but there might have been an energy around her that could have been on that side of the fence, or something she was questioning. Resonating on the 7th ray, Lady Portia divine action helps to release and heal trapped ancestral karma. Don't forget when I said I'm pulling this, I wasn't necessarily channeling Nicola. This could be an energy of somebody watching that needs to hear this, okay? Which that is what is making sense to me as well. I really feel as well with this, aquamarine is the stone for anyone watching this. If aquamarine is your stone, I feel like it is the sacred crystal for you. If this is going to resonate for you, you must be ready to shed the old shell that was provided to you with so much protection and comfort. While you may feel unbalanced and unprepared, you're ready to end generational patterns and cycles now. And that for me also says about chapters in your life. So I think it's a nice little message actually for us all, just to reflect. Sometimes we get stuck and frightened. And I do want to say, if you are in that situation, because there's so much going on in the world, try and balance your fear and try and ground yourself. And it's not easy, because I totally understand. So much love to everyone, and thank you for the comments. And I will see you in the next one. Take care and bye for now.